Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, as I said before in my blog of The Magician's Elephant last year, Netflix has been doing a pretty good job of distributing decent animated films lately, whether being films from overseas like Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir the movie and Charming, films that have miraculously made it to physical home media like The Little Prince, Animal Crackers, Vivo, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, or films that have become cult favorites like The Sea Beast, The Willoughbys, Over the Moon, Klaus, and Nimona. Now, while Orion and the Dark was a decent animated film to kick off 2024, today we're going to look at Netflix's recent animated release, which features a singing unicorn. Released to Netflix on May 17th, 2024, the movie is Thelma the Unicorn. And now, on for the plot of the movie. Thelma is a small-time farm pony who dreams of becoming a glamorous music star. After being humiliated at an audition, Thelma is transformed into a unicorn due to a pink and glittery filled moment of fate, and instantly rises to global stardom. However, this new life of fame comes with a very serious and unexpected cost. So, what do I think of this movie? Well, to be quite honest, I really liked it. And no, I'm not joking. I think it's a really good movie. I love the story, I like the music, and the moral at the end. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just move on to Mustang notes. The movie is based on the 2015 children's book Thelma the Unicorn by Aaron Blabey, who you might remember as the author of the Bad Guys book series. By the way, I did read this book at Barnes & Noble's recently, and to me, I find it to be a pretty relatable story where the main character realizes what's more important than fame. In June 2019, it was announced that Netflix acquired the film rights to Aaron Blabey's children's book after a bidding war, and began developing the movie as an animated musical adaptation. The film was directed by Jared Harris, who wrote the script with his wife Jerusha, along with Lin Wang as co-director and Blabey himself serving as executive producer alongside Patrick Hughes. In April 2023, Pam Coates was announced to produce the movie. The film's animation was provided by Micros Animation, and to me, like Orion and the Dark, the animation is pretty good, and I find it neat that this is one of several films where humans and animals coexist and interact with one another. Kind of like DreamWorks' The Bad Guys, My Little Pony Generation 1, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Cats Don't Dance, and Here Comes Peter Cottontail. Plus, I like the film's moral of not letting fame go to your head and to just be yourself in order to gain the public's approval. And now, let's talk about the movie's songs. And in my opinion, most of them range from catchy to rockin' to groovin' to emotional. A few examples being Fire Inside, Hurricane, Big, and Just As You Are, mostly due to them being written and sung by Thelma herself, while the villain song, The 3 C's to Success, sung by Vic Diamond, is my least favorite, due to it being very manipulative and over the top. And that's about all I got for Mustang notes, so let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought it to life. Our main character, Thelma the Unicorn, is voiced by Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter Brittany Howard, marking this as her first acting role. To me, Brittany does a very terrific job voicing Thelma, and I find her to be a very relatable character, even before she became painted. Also, I like that her motivation of wanting to be popular is so that she can be accepted by others. Kind of like what I want, in a way. Plus, like I said earlier, the songs that Thelma sings throughout the movie are very catchy and emotional, but my absolute favorite out of all of them is Just As You Are, which really tugs at my heart, and it really puts me in tears. Also, I find it really cute that the first person who notices Thelma after she becomes a unicorn, other than her bandmates, is a handicapped little girl named Susie, who films Thelma's Fire Inside song and shares it with countless people. Next up are Thelma's bandmates, Otis, voiced by Will Forte, who played Shaggy Rogers in Scoob, Chester V in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, and Captain Gordon Lighthouse in Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, and Reggie, voiced by Napoleon Dynamite himself, John Hader. Now, between these two, I think Otis sticks out the most, due to him being a voice of reason for Thelma, and I find it interesting that he made his own Dungeons and Dragons style board game, and he has quite an imagination while playing it. As for Reggie, well, aside from being a skilled drummer, he's a pretty laid-back character and a bit of a ditz. As for the other characters, we have Peggy Purvis, voiced by another newcomer, Malaika Mitchell. Peggy is a blind elderly record dealer who helps Thelma and her bandmates become talents while making them her new comeback attraction. To me, like Brittany Howard, Malaika does great for her first film role, and I think Peggy is a very sweet character. Plus, I like that she judges people by their singing talents and not by their appearances. And due to her smelling the paint, she knew from the beginning that Thelma wasn't really a unicorn. Another thing that I like about Peggy is that she's a real badass while fighting a group of thugs, and that she's not afraid to put her foot down and defend her friends when she needs to. Next up we have Vic Diamond, a talent agent voiced by Jermaine Clement, who you may remember for playing Nigel from the Rio movies, Tamatoa from Disney's Moana, the Flesh Lump Eater giant in Steven Spielberg's The BFG, Dr. Ian Garvin in James Cameron's Avatar sequels, and he'll be in the upcoming Harold and the Purple Crayon movie this August. Now, I find Vic to be a greedy, self-serving, sleazy, fickle, snobbish, and manipulative character whose main concern is managing famous animals who are at top tier at the moment and would leave them unceremoniously when their fame plummets, as seen when he quits being Nicky Narwhal's manager when Thelma outperforms her. Plus, during his villain song, which I stand by is really over the top, Vic mentions that when he was young, he was dismissed as a nobody and a loser, so he did everything that he could to stand out. Also, I thought his most despicable moment is when he uses a missile to destroy a limo which was carrying Peggy and Thelma's bandmates, and when he manipulates Thelma to perform on stage without them. Moving on, we have Vic's former client, Nicky Narwhal, voiced by Allie Dixon. Nicky is a Narwhal pop star whose career was starting to hit the downturn courtesy of Thelma's popularity. To me, Nicky is a really poor sport, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to have Thelma's popularity destroyed and get back on top of the charts again. Finally, we have Megan, Nicky's assistant, voiced by Eddie Patterson. In my eyes, while she is loyal to Nicky and she sees her as a very close friend, I find her to be more antagonistic due to her wanting to expose and get rid of Thelma. What she does is hire a group of people to throw eggs at her, and later, after discovering her horn coming loose, Megan confronts Thelma in the bathroom, washes off her unicorn disguise, and threatens to reveal her deception unless she permanently quits the music business. And now on to my final words. overall, Thelma the Unicorn is another great animated film to come from Netflix. The story is very engaging, it has a good moral about being yourself. The main character Thelma is understandable and sympathetic, and her songs are absolutely wonderful. Her bandmates Otis and Reggie are memorable and funny at times. Peggy is a great music producer and a great supporting character, and the antagonists like Vic, Nikki, and Megan range from greedy, manipulative, and arrogant. Sadly, the only thing that I didn't like about this film, like Trolls Band Together, was a pink eye scene, which was very disturbing for children. But aside from that, this is a film that you folks should check out if you're a fan of the original children's book, or if you just want to watch something with your children and your family. And if you haven't seen it yet, then be sure to tune into Netflix to check it out. I give this movie a 94% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for my next blog, Mustang Power.